You are listening to the Postcast, presented by the Locked On Senators podcast and the Glebe Central Pub. The Glebe Central Pub is your neighborhood pub in the heart of the Glebe. Visit them at 779 Bank Street and make sure you let them know that Locked On Senators sent you. I'm Ross Levitan alongside Brandon Piller, and apparently I came in loud. It's just excitement because on back-to-back nights, the Ottawa Senators have defeated the Toronto Maple Leafs 6-2, and now the Montreal Canadiens by a score of 5-0. Pilsy, your impression as this one developed?
Ross, I don't usually do this, but as people are noticing in the chat, I am rocking the jersey. I had it on all game. It's a 5-0 win over the Habs. I thought, okay, I'm going to get changed. I don't want to be a total fanboy on the postcast. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. If I'm going to fanboy over the Ottawa Senators, a weekend of back-to-back games where they beat the Maple Leafs. Yeah, Alex, this is positive Pilsy. I'm feeling good. The Maple Leafs 6-2, and then the Habs 5-0 for a combined score of 11-2. With Forsberg starting both games and getting a shutout, I'm a fan of your Ottawa Senators. Remember, Ross, back in the days?
You've inspired me.
Oh, here we go. Love it. We're getting the jerseys on, guys. Eric, thank you for the nice donation. 3 is a streak. Claude Giroux is an Ottawa Senator, and a quick meow for Alex DeBrincat, a beautiful sniper goal. I'll just tap dance here while Ross is getting changed. There he is. The reverse retro even. You gotta love that move.
This might be the first time I've actually worn this jersey, but it looks good. I'm waiting to get
Nice.
Claude Giroux thrown on the back here.
I like the orange NHL logo. That's definitely like your NHL logo. That's better than the one I've got here. That's nice.
Classic. This is great audio for the people listening to it in the car. Reminder, you can catch the postcast on audio form.
You gotta watch on YouTube, though.
You gotta watch.
You gotta be here live. The chat's hype. We got another great win, Ross. The vibes are all time.
And as Eric points out, 3 is a streak. The Senators will look to make it 4 on Tuesday against this shell of an NHL team. So I want to keep everything in that sphere. That this is a bad hockey team they played against, the Montreal Canadiens tonight. My God.
Oh, so bad.
They did have the better of the chances early on in this game.
Honestly, through a lot of the game, the Habs had really great chances. And you know what? I've been known to make bad takes on the show. If you guys have been following, you'd certainly know a handful of my bad takes. But this is a tough one for me as Forsberg not only has a good game, but has a shutout here. But I would like to point out, everyone dunking on me in Aleem's Martian, kind of making sure I stay embarrassed by this take by tagging me and tweeting it. It was 50% me wanting Mando to have a good story for his NHL debut, and 50% me thinking starting any goalie back-to-back nights is not a good idea. So I was only half wrong here, guys. Give me a bit of a break. Come on.
Yeah, fair enough. I did think that midway through the first. I was like, I'm pretty sure this is 2-0 if Mando's in net.
Hey, come on now. Don't do that to our guy, Mando. Hey,
that's more so because of how good Anton Forsberg was tonight and how great the crossbars.
I'll allow that spin zone.
The crossbars were singing. I think there were 3 in the game. And Forsberg even made sure to give a little love.
And Ross, I don't know, were you the goalie that would do that as well? I don't know about you, but if there was a chance, if, like, let's say I kind of had it or it deflected and hit the post or whatever, maybe I wouldn't do it. But if I completely missed it and the post saved me as attendee, I'm going back there and I'm giving my friend a little tap, goalie's best friend right there. So I appreciate that Forsberg does that.
100%. We got plenty to get into on this show, but I want your official. I guess you gave it. I was going to get my jersey. I was like, I didn't get your feelings as the game progressed.
I mean, I'm feeling great, Ross. If you want my feelings, I am doing well. Thank you to everyone in this chat here. And we got another donation from our guy, Eric. The Ottawa Senators are a 500 hockey team. That is refreshing to see.
I mean, they keep flirting with this line. Wake me up when they're 3 games above 500.
You might be sleeping for a while, Ross. Get the pillow out. Get the blankets.
Verbal gif, not even verbal meme, verbal gif, the guy's sleeping. And then he just gets up and starts clapping.
That's one of your favorites. That is a good one, though.
That is a good one. A great weekend beating the Leafs and Habs. Can't complain about that. But one more will be nice. I'm not satisfied. I don't think the guys in the locker room were either as they poured it on here late. How about the classic move that you don't often see. But scoring a goal on the goalie after you've already scored an empty netter is the perfect punctuation. That's what makes it a blowout. Like an empty netter, you're like, okay, bend the knee, you lose. But then when you put your goalie back in, and Derek Brassard, of all people, gets a breakaway in game 990 for him tonight, and Potts, it's got that je ne sais quoi. 2 goals for Claude Giroux, un but pour Derek Brassard. On y va, les Sénateurs.
Ah, oui, c'est bon. C'est bon. But the even more emphatic, Ross, is it wasn't like a deflection or a dumb goal or something. It's a breakaway set up by a beautiful flip shot, and he goes top cheese on him. I mean, that is tough. And Ross, I know you want to pipe in here, but I just want to say I thought of something that we're doing for next game. At our friends FanDuel, we're betting anytime goals for every single Francophone on the Ottawa Senators team. Giroux gets one.
Mathieu Josephs.
Brass got one. Mathieu Josephs. And Thomas Chabot, he's been looking good lately. He scored up against the Leafs. So head to our friends at FanDuel. And I'm not sure if I'm going to parlay them. That's a little crazy. Maybe put a buck on it or something. But individually, every Francophone to score up against Montreal in Montreal, that's looking good to me.
I'm riding with that.
Yes, let's go.
I got to give credit to Mathieu Joseph as well. That was a bit of a snooker play, right? You read the angle and bang. He absolutely nailed it from his own zone. I was even more impressed when I thought the commentator said it was Nick Holden. I was like, no way. He's getting the protractor out like that. But Joseph, great play. And that's what a guy like Joseph needed, right? Only 2 goals on the year going into tonight. He's getting opportunity on the top line, although they weren't the top line tonight, which we can get into a lot deeper. But I thought that was a great moment for him. The penalty killing was great all around. We were teased today from DJ that Timmy might come off the PK. He was up there in that last kind of meaningful penalty, and he killed a lot tonight. The total time for Stützle, 2:29, shorthanded. Before we get deeper into this game, Pillsy, my first note is, my goodness, he did it. DJ Smith scratched Austin Watson in a game. How surprised were you that out of Gambrell, Kelly, anyone else, even Brassard's been a healthy scratch before, that it was Austin Watson to come out of the lineup?
I was very surprised, Ross. Like, the game started, and I kind of just assumed it was Gambrell, and then I saw Gambrell out there, and I was like, wait, so who's off here? And I was like, Austin Watson scratch? Like, but hey, that's the thing. Like, you want from your coach to be able to learn from, I don't want to say learn from his mistakes necessarily, but you want him to not be so stuck in his ways that he's not going to pull this kind of thing, that a move that we never thought we would see. So again, we credited DJ Smith last night for changing the lines and having it work effectively. Credit to DJ Smith again. I'm not embarrassed to give him props when he deserves it, even if it's kind of a lost season here. Let's not get over our heads, but still, you gotta give credit where credit's due.
You certainly do. And after every game, the Sens give credit with the goggles. I'm tweeting out right now, and I need 2 more options that Thomas Chabot can give to. I have Claude Giroux and Anton Forsberg as absolute no-brainers. Should I add Ridley Greig in the mix there? I think so.
Yeah, put Ridley in the mix there.
And a fourth option, Jake Sanderson had a great game.
I was going to say Debrincat because he finally scored. We talked about this, Ross. He finally scored a goal. We're on a 2-on-1. He elects to shoot, and he just rips it past the goalie. Like, that was such a relief to see. I felt really good about that one.
Now, with that caveat, I feel like we're getting to a point where, I don't know, I guess I'm just trying to make up an excuse why it shouldn't be Jake Sanderson. I love Jake Sanderson's game tonight defensively. There were a couple times where he got back and would cover and catch up to the attacking players. I thought he was awesome. But yeah, DeBrincat was great. Now the Senators are 11-1-1 when Alex DeBrincat scores a goal. Jack Richardson told me that before the game. I was like, man, it's pretty impressive. He should score more.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, Peter wondering if we can give Matt Murray the goggles tonight. Not tonight, but a couple former Senators almost got goals. Mike Hoffman had that great chance from the slot.
From Dadanov, of all guys. That was the old Florida connection, Ross. I wanted to see what those guys would do reunited, but they are about 3 years both past their primes here, maybe even a little more.
You decide. You want to go with DeBrincat?
I like DeBrincat, but we're the people's pod. Let the chat decide.
He's gotten it like 3 times this year, hasn't he?
Yeah, we need a goggles counter. Last year, I think we had Loch Ness Sens. He was the counter for the bike
There's
helmets.
somebody counting it. Let us know if you're in the
We
chat.
need
There's
that.
someone counting it. He even has like it's a bar chart, and he even
Yes.
has some. He has like a color code for one of like three of them are gold from the chain that was handed out, and then he
True.
changed over to red for the goggles. Yeah, this guy's gone in depth for sure. We're gonna put Alex DeBrincat, goal scorer.
Yeah, come on. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, that stat's pretty elite. Senders have points in 12 of 13 games that Alex DeBrincat scores. We're getting a
And he's
lot of
supposed to be a 40 goal scorer, Ross. So I don't know, pencil in 40 plus wins next season.
oh man. Oh, Swanky Pants mentioning that the goggles to brass for
Swanky
caring
Pants.
more about post-game ice dunk than launching a dirty top cheeser to send that farm packing. GG, thanks, boys. That's some hockey slang in there, eh? Nothing wrong with nothing wrong with that, but that's awesome. Imagine the Sens still had the 5-goal pizza, and that's what sent everyone home with a slice.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
I think we have a new trend going. I guess not new, but recycled trend going in the chat. The Rid Burglar. How you feeling about that? The Senators are 3-0-0 with Ridley Greig in the NHL lineup.
I don't know if I'm feeling what is it, Rid Burger?
Burglar. So like the Hamburglar. I don't love it, but you know what? I can appreciate getting behind it.
Yeah. Hey, I'll if that's what we're going with, but I don't co-sign that one.
Okay, fair
Yeah.
enough.
That's
Party
like Augusta bus. Like we
Oh,
can do better, guys. We can do better.
Ridley Scott.
The Riddler. What are we talking about? Nicknames. The Riddler. We've already talked about this.
Or Randy.
Yeah, Randy. Randy.
Hey, Randy, what's going on? That's awesome. I love it. That line was awesome. Not only even strength, but a lot of, I guess, the Brinkets off of it. But Giroux and Greig on the power play were fantastic. Arbor Jackeye is the only reason why my Levy lock didn't hit.
I know, and I was riding with you on that one, Ross. I felt good. I said it on the podcast. Remember, you were like, "Is really Greg going to score in his debut?" And I said, "Not against Toronto, but he will score one of those games against Montreal." And luckily, we're going to get to see them just down the road on Tuesday.
Oh, man. Can't wait for a rematch. That's great. That's a fun team to play if you need a little ego boost.
Big time fun team to play. Yes, especially when I'm sure the people that were at the game can tell us it was probably mostly Habs fans. I heard a couple "Go Habs, go" chants, which breaks my heart, but my heart mends again when those Habs fans leave early and it's 5-0 when a goalie is playing on a back-to-back the second half of one.
I hope there's
Beautiful.
traffic lines
Wait,
going up.
is anyone in the chat at the game did the Olay chant?
I think I heard it
popped out.
briefly. It had to, especially after that Brassard goal.
Right? That's when you hit the Olay chant and send those. That's the Habs like Pavlov's bell to get going when the Olay chant starts.
Yeah, 100%. Martian was going a little early though. There was like 15 minutes left in the game.
I mean, when Martian's all hopped up on that luxury lifestyle, you can expect him to really get going there.
Matt said you claim the streets, but you live like King Edward.
Yeah, I mean, what's that old saying? You can't do construction work in silk pajamas. I mean, Martian, watch out, buddy. Those covering the streets in those silky PJs, you're gonna get a little too high and mighty on us. Don't forget about us little people, Marsh.
I heard they had to roll out a red carpet for his walk from his limo to the Bell Club Bell.
Probably. He's probably got people putting down coats over puddles. Man, this guy.
My goodness. All right. So the 5-0 score starts early in the second period. Just 22 seconds in, Alex DeBrincat gets his 16th goal of the year, assisted to Claude Giroux, his 28th assist. And then he decides, you know what? It might be more fun scoring. And he converts on a power play, 18th goal of the year, assist to Ridley Greig and Jake Sanderson. And then he gets an unassisted goal thanks to Arbor Jackeye right off his leg. I should mention the first goal, DeBrincat keeps on a 2-on-1, snipes it past Montembeault. Second goal, sick backdoor feed from Ridley Greig. And on the entry, Giroux snapped Michael Pezzetta's ankles completely. Yeah. I don't know how that didn't make its way onto the onto the highlight reel in that game. My goodness, that was tough. I said that G should send over a signed stick and maybe a roll of tape for Tuesday that Pizzetta can just tape up his ankles with, and maybe he'll be able to stay on his feet a little bit better. That third goal makes it obviously 3-0. Forsberg, fantastic. 17 saves in the second period. As Ottawa dominated the period, it felt like, but then you look at the clock, and you're like, man, Montreal's putting some shots on. Third period, 4-0. Matthew Joseph, bank shot from his own zone, and then Derek Brassard gets a sick feed from Drake Batherson and scores on a breakaway. 5-0 the score. We've got Sens Central standouts and a whole lot more coming up after a quick word from our friends at the Glebe Central Pub. The Glebe Central Pub is your neighborhood pub, my neighborhood pub, all of our neighborhood pub in the heart of the Glebe. And if it's not yours personally, well, make it. Just find your way there, because all roads lead to the Glebe Central Pub. What I love about the Glebe Central Pub is just how interactive everything they do there is. Like, you got open mic night, you got trivia night, you got live music night.
Ross, they did speed dating night there. Like that, like they're doing everything. It's awesome.
I saw that. They are for the people, and that's why they are perfect to sponsor the Postcast each and every Ottawa Senators game. They also will have a live podcast there on February 17th featuring us. So we hope to see you there ahead of the Chicago Blackhawks visit to Ottawa. Chris Neil jersey retirement night. We have the shuttle to and from the Glebe Central Pub. We hope to see you on it. It's the Glebe Central Pub, 779 Bank Street. And make sure you let them know that the Locked On Senators sent you. All right, Pillsy, this is great. Andrew writing in saying, spin the wheel for the Habs.
They may be the first team in history to finish 32nd out of 32nd 2 years in a row. Although I say that mostly in jest, as the Western Conference has that locked up.
Locked up. It's actually wild. Claude Giroux, the road to 1,000 points continues. 2 goals, an assist. Pillsy, he has 970 points. He only needs 30 more points.
And he gets multi-point nights almost easily for the guy. Like, it's incredible. And Claude Giroux is so much better than I could have hoped, Ross. Like, all around the ice, he's incredible. I feel like there's not a more perfectly fitting veteran that this team needed to join than Claude Giroux. He is the exact guy that needed to come into this team, give it some, I don't want to say validation, but like really show that, hey, although the leadership core is young, all you guys are young, you haven't experienced success. No, accountability, that's the word I'm looking for. He's going to hold the guys accountable because he expects a higher standard, and he wouldn't expect anything out of those guys that he doesn't do himself. So Claude Giroux has been an incredible signing, and every single game, Ross, he impresses me more and more. Like you mentioned, like, breaking Pizzetta's ankles there, that's a sign of him being like, you may be the young buck and you've got a lot of years on me, but I'm way smarter than you. Like, I've forgotten more about hockey than you will ever know. Like, that's Claude Giroux on Pizzetta there. Like, just a masterclass of skating there, and fakes him right out. You love to see that.
Is he your number one Sens Central standout tonight, presented by the Glebe Central Pub?
Are you passing it over to me?
Yes, I am. It's just like DJ Smith with his ties, wearing the purple every game now that they keep winning. You did the first Sens Central standout on Saturday, so you get to lead us off.
And I think I might have picked Claude Giroux as well. But I'm going with him again. 3 points, 2 goals, 1 assist, 4 shots on goal. The face-offs, not a typical Claude Giroux night, only 33% here, but when you're playing like he is, and Ridley Greig is like the net, like, I feel like Claude Giroux is like his uncle, and he's taking him under his wing, and he's like, I'm going to show you all the cool stuff while I'm taking care of you while your parents are away on vacation or something. Like, he has perfectly put Ridley Greig under his wing, and it's been a perfect connection. Like, I don't think Ridley Greig necessarily is a second line center, but boy, can he play with Claude Giroux. And the connection between Debrincat and Giroux has also seemed really good lately since they've done those line changes. So it's really nice to see a lot of decisions DJ Smith is making pay off. And you're just seeing the depth of this roster. Like, sure, they're not where you want them to be in this season, but when you can mix the lines up like this, and have a guy make his NHL debut as a second line center, and now you've got 3 rotating lines that are dangerous. It's pretty damn impressive.
It's super impressive. Now 30 points away from 1,000, and Hip Hopotamus says we play Philly in 26 games. That's a tall test, but wouldn't that be an unreal storyline?
We talked about this, Ross, in the offseason when you made your take that he's going to get there, and I was looking through the calendar, and I was like, this could be the date up against Philly, but that's way too early. Like, he's going to have to score at an incredible pace to get there. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if we could find odds on that with FanDuel, I would toss a couple shekels on that. Like, it's not crazy.
It's not so crazy. It's just crazy enough that it might be a good call.
And the hockey gods would do that for Claude Giroux. Like, it could line up nicely.
Especially 900 points in 1,000 games on the dot for both of them in his Flyers career. I mean,
Incredible.
This would be cherry on top to get 1,000 against the Flyers as well. I'm not going to overthink things. I'm going right to the crease. The guy who I said should start all along.
Yep.
It's
Credit
Anton
to you. Credit to you. No love for Mando.
9 minutes into the game. He'd already gotten some luck. 2 minutes in, it was Belzile off the crossbar. But halfway through the first period, that save on Mike Hoffman, a high slot one-timer, I said, oh my, he's got it tonight. And then off the next faceoff, makes another great save on Hoffman. Then the rebound save on Kirby Dach. And then Dach, I don't know how he missed that second rebound. That went right through the crease. But all in all, great effort for Anton Forsberg in tonight's game. The second period I mentioned, 17 saves, and he gets his second shutout of the season and second shutout with the Ottawa Senators. I guess they just have to play bad teams because the other shutout was against Columbus.
Well, he did have a shutout the year before, Ross, against Tampa for Brady's first career hat trick.
You're right. I don't, maybe it's
Man, that's a rare one that I got on you. Look who's the Sens encyclopedia now. It's all that trivia I do. I've got it back.
Or it's all the Anton Forsberg stats you were looking up here when you were doing your big brain move of saying Mando should start tonight.
Sorry for showing love for a friend of the show, Ross. Sue me.
That's fair. Last year, February 7th and 8th, the last time the Senators had back-to-back games, and they won them both. Those were games up against the New Jersey Devils, 4-1 at home, and then the Carolina Hurricanes, 4-3 at home. So the Sens get back-to-back wins for the first time in nearly a calendar year. Great to see that. Absolutely love to see that.
It's so great. And I just want to make a comment on Forsberg here, Ross. Remember we were talking about his post-game presser after the game up against the Islanders, and both of us were like, what's up with Forsberg? Like, he seems so prickly right now. Like, this does not sound like a guy that just is coming off a 2-1 win in relief. Like, what's up with that? Maybe you just got to get him a little grumpy. Like, I think he plays better grumpy, and when he's not in a comfortable situation. He certainly played a whole lot better last season when it was kind of like, all right, Forsy, you're our guy. We don't have anyone else. We're just going to toss you out there night in and night out. So maybe that's the kind of adversity Forsberg needs to thrive. So that's very interesting that this has been his best back-to-back stretch. Maybe all year. Like, maybe at the start of the year when they had that 4-game win streak, he had a couple of good games, but not like this. Not only allowing 2 goals on the Leafs and then shutting out the Habs in back-to-back nights. That's impressive.
Huge performance from Anton Forsberg, a 28 save shutout, and the shots were 25-25 after the second period. The Habs folded the tent in the second intermission. The Senators came out and closed this game the way they should. Ben asks, how about Ridley Greig during the All-Star break? The Senators have a 10-day break. What happens with Ridley Greig? Well, I think he should go back to Belleville. Why not? Play a few extra games. And it's not like he's been up that long. It's not like he really needs the break.
That's hilarious, Ross, because I think we flipped here, because my answer was going to be give the kid an extra week of NHL payday and let him spend the off time with the boys. He's going to go on vacation with the Giroux family. Let's not kid around here. He's going to be where they're going to Disneyland or something for that break, and Ridley Greig's going to be there in the back seat.
You know that?
No, I don't know. I'm making stuff up here. But you know what? Belleville's season is not looking great here. If they were in a good spot to make the playoffs, maybe I would say that. But Ridley Greig has played so well. I think he's earned a little bit of NHL per diem and an NHL payday here. Keep him up. Keep him up.
This is another great bromance on this team. We
Yeah,
know,
just
like
another one.
it's great. There's so many, and now we've got Ridley Greig and his childhood hero, Claude
It's not a
Giroux.
bromance, Ross. It's a uncle nephew situation. That's really how I see this. Like, it's so funny how these, like, Ridley Greig has added such a spark to this team that they desperately needed.
A spark plug type player. We've been telling you for 3 years that's the kind of player that they were able to draft in that. Just pumped up a beat the traffic chant. It was a hit at Salo's Slapshot on Twitter. I absolutely love hearing that. That's a retweet 10 times out of 10 on the old Twitter machine. No, great night overall. We can go around the horn again. So yeah, you've got Claude Giroux. I've got Anton Forsberg.
Snake draft. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to take Jake Sanderson. You wouldn't let me put him in for the goggles, so I'm just going to gush over his
I
performance.
didn't say I wouldn't let you put him in. Come on.
I'm just going to gush over his performance on the defensive side. There was a play in the second period before this game was out of reach where he's just laying there flat with an active stick. He blocked 4 shots tonight. Like he was a mammoth player, both playing big in his own zone and playing light on his feet, transitioning the play through neutral ice. Gets that secondary assist. Sure, that's nice, but I think it was what he did away from the puck and defensively that super impressed me in tonight's game. Like the stat line looks great: 2 shots, 4 blocks, takeaway. And look at this again, Pilsy. The Senators are 3-0 in their last 3 games, and in all 3 games, Thomas Chabot plays less than 25 minutes. And in all 3 games, Jake Sanderson plays under 2 minutes less than Thomas Chabot. 20 seconds separated the two in tonight's game, and that's
Perfect.
the recipe for success. Let's
Agreed.
keep rolling. And it is curious, though, and I hope that it would be either way, but Thomas Chabot left the game near the end of the first period with about 2 minutes left and then came out of the tunnel 30 seconds late. Didn't miss any of the period, but it is something to monitor on Tuesday. And then hopefully you hope that 10-day break deals with everything.
Well, I mean, Ross, even Sunday, Monday, even a 3-day break here, like that's pretty good. And I'm hoping it's just a bumps and bruises type of situation there. So not bad at all. But yes, I do like that pick and Jake Sanderson. And I agree with you. I think DJ Smith's starting to realize here, although you want to shelter rookie defensemen, Jake Sanderson's not the guy you need to shelter. And I'm not saying you need to shelter Thomas Chabot, but you need to cut down on him playing so many minutes. He can't be the guy that's leading time on ice every game. You now have another option. Use it. And I think that he's getting utilized properly.
Who is your second Sens Central standout?
I'm going to give it to the Cat. I mean, that goal was just really what I wanted to see. Every time we talked about Debrincat, Ross, I mentioned it over and over. It's so nice to have a player that can go down the wing and just rip one past the goalie. And we've been waiting to see Debrincat do that. And this time he has the confidence and he gets it. And he really needed it. You saw the frustration in Alex Debrincat last game when he had a similar chance 2-on-1 and he rips it high and wide. You can't be doing that if you're him. Like, at the very least, you got to get a shot on net. So he snaps a stick on the bench. This time, he's got it figured out. A great shot. I believe it went blocker side on Montembeault. Like, that's what we need from Alex Debrincat. And it's really Greig, the guy that's going in on the 2-on-1 for him. So I want to see him, like, really Greig draw enough attention that it opens up the shot for a sniper like Alex Debrincat to have a clear lane. Because Ross, if you told me at FanDuel the odds for Alex Debrincat beating Montembeault 1-on-1, I'm hitting that bet every single time. So that's what you want to see. I love it. Alex Debrincat, meow.
11-1-1. I just wanted to say that again. Unreal when he scores this season. So this team is clearly a better one when he's producing. Debrincat played 1750 in tonight's game. Had 4 shots on goal, 2 blocks, a hit, and was +2 in the game. Ridley Greig deserves a shout out as well. I thought Timmy was dancing in the offensive zone. Shane Pinto, 78% in the face-off circle in this game. 3 block shots for Shane Pinto as well. And
Nice.
Nick Holden, multi-point game. All right.
Hey,
How many multi-point games do you think Nick Holden has with the Sens?
this is his third.
No, what the heck? This guy's an assist machine. This is 5th.
Oh, there you
All
go.
right. The more you know.
5 for number 5. Let's go.
Sens stole him for Evgeny Dadonov, who was more or less invisible out there tonight.
Yeah, big time. I mean, he did have that nice pass to Hoffman for the one-timer, but
You want to hear his stat line?
yes.
15 minutes and 25 seconds. No goals, no assists, even, no penalty minutes, no hits, no blocks, no giveaways, no takeaways, one shot.
Who's that?
Dadonov.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
A
I was so
complete.
fired up for Dadonov coming to the Sens. Oh,
I know. Tough one for expectations versus reality. Let's take a look at some. Oh man, Owen Beck. I actually have this in my notes. His mom got her hands on an Owen Beck jersey. His dad was wearing a Carey Price jersey.
I mean,
I was like, I know it's a quick turnaround, but if you can do one, come on.
yeah. If you're a new Habs fan, which I don't know if that family's been Habs fans their whole life or just when their son got drafted there, but that's a safe choice.
Safe choice. Fair,
Yeah.
fair. How about that clip about Ridley Greig meeting Brady in Edmonton? You remember that one I'm talking about in the first period?
Yeah.
Why'd they have it?
I don't know. I didn't fully grasp the concept there, but that's better than what Sportsnet usually has. So
But I was
I'll
like,
take it.
what? How'd they find that file? It was just like Ridley walking the back halls, meeting Brady Kachuk after a
Ross,
WHL game.
as a former Sports Center employee, that's someone clipped that. Ridley Greig meets Brady Kachuk. That's the clip, and someone searched Ridley Greig and Brady Kachuk together, and that showed up. That's how that's done. A little behind the scenes for you, Ross.
So you save files and then use files. So that's how that goes.
Properly naming files is important too. That's a big part of the newsroom functioning well.
Patrick making note that Brady was just rocking bare feet on the concrete in the lower bowl. Hey, at least it's a new arena.
Yeah.
Cliff gave me Chell Be a Pro vibes. Cody Nero, I like that one as well. Yeah, Ferg
Yeah.
playing. They were making Sam Montembeault sound like he was going to be the next Patrick Waugh. I remember that. Hey, what an amazing player. You know, goalies don't hit their stride till 28. He could be the real deal. Sure. Not tonight. Not tonight. Anybody else have anything? Man, we went long yesterday. That was a great chat. The vibes are so high right now. I love it. The roller coaster of emotions this season has brought us, Pilsy. It's hard to put into to words or one feeling because it's just been highs and lows. But we're riding them, man, every day on the Locked On Sens podcast and in the Postcast.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You have to ride the roller coaster if you're a Sens fan. Yes, Patrick, this team is a roller coaster. And Ross, we had a Leafs fan comment on our postcast last night saying, I thought you guys were a little classless. Like Locked On Leafs is a whole lot more put together. Dude,
I missed that one.
This show is not for you. Like, if you're a Leafs fan and you just lost 6-2 to the Ottawa Senators,
He even said
maybe
hi to them.
consider that we're not catering to your type of audience. We're Sens fans in a lost season where we had, I was about to say high expectations. Ross, our expectations were not to be sellers at the deadline and to play in meaningful games, whatever you want that to mean. And we're not even going to hit that. So you're goddamn right. If we beat the Leafs 6-2 in Toronto, we're going to act like a bunch of wild elite Sens brains guys, because we got to enjoy it while we're here. And we got over 200 people in the chat again tonight, as we did last night. So obviously we're not the only Sens fans going delusional, being positive about these wins. So I'm sorry if there's Habs fans listening and they're like, oh, these Sens guys, they're classless. Sorry.
Hi to the Habs fans. Hey, guys.
Oh, yeah. Bonjour.
Bonjour. Welcome. Ça va bien? Oui, oui.
Bienvenue. Bibliothèque.
Yeah, because we said hi to Leaf fans. And
yes, we did.
Damn it. Ole, 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 ole. Dylan Robertson. Big win over rivals back-to-back nights. I don't know the answer, but when was the last time the Sens put together an 8 to 10 game win streak? Dylan, you are getting way too greedy.
Yeah, let's slow the brakes there.
Are you not entertained? 3?
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Sens burner. Yes, love that. Thank you. Appreciate that. The vibes. Ross, are talking about goals and expectations for the season. We now limited, and we were very clear on this. Our only expectations for this team now moving forward: win the rivalry nights. They
Yeah.
beat the Leafs 6-2. Then they beat the Habs 5-0 in back-to-back nights. You know what? I'm not a greedy man. I will take that. Thank you, Ottawa Senators, for making this weekend good vibes. Oh,
Wait, he wants 8 wins, dude?
8? 8?
8? Dude, I think I have to go back to April of 2017 to get 5. Wants
Yeah,
8.
5 is a lot.
Like, there was a stretch towards the end of the COVID season where they had points in 6 straight and actually had points in 9 of 10. So, does that count? And it all shut
No,
and it
Dylan
all
wants
started
more.
it all started with a 4-0 win over the Montreal Canadiens. That was an 8-1-1 stretch. He wants an 8-game win streak. I'm going to find him one. I will. Why don't you answer a couple of questions in the chat here? I'm doing some deep digging for the people.
All right, guys. Hit me with any questions here.
Game win streak.
You guys know I'm elite at trivia.
I don't even have to look at 2017-18. That's for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother
Oh,
with that one.
It has to be at some point during the Hamburglar run.
It has to be. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I've got that up here. The longest stretch during the Hamburglar run without a loss was 7-0-0.
Not good enough. Dylan wants 8.
They went 5 straight wins, shootout loss, 3 straight wins,
Nope.
regulation loss, 7 straight wins, regulation loss, overtime loss, regulation loss. And then 3 straight wins, shootout loss, win. Shout out to Hamburglar. Who we can't go with the Rid Burglar. I'm sorry.
Yeah, guys, I'm sorry. I know, Patrick, you've been really hammering it, but I don't even fully get it. Like, what's the connection to Rid Burger?
Oh, because you're going I like Forsbergler. At least stay with the goalies. Like,
yeah, and there's Berg in his name. Like, yeah,
and burglar, like you're robbing guys, right?
Nah.
You're robbing. Wait for
No.
Ridley Greig to steal someone's lunch money or something first. He's the Riddler. He's Randy.
Yeah, he's the Riddler.
Like Randy. And if Boucher does it, then you know it's like an inside thing with them. So I feel like we either go with Randy or the Riddler. It's just easy.
Yep.
Just easy. All right, guys, man, what an absolute pleasure of a show. I want to tease that we have the man behind the wave. The golf clap. That's what it was. We got the man behind the golf clap coming Monday on Locked On Senators. Dude, Sens Burner wants to know if we can get Craig Anderson on the podcast. I would love that. He'd be one of my all-time.
Not till he retires. He's
Right,
not going to come on. Yeah.
No doubt. But if you want to hear like a very candid Craig Anderson, obviously we'd have some fun with him. But the interview he did with Elliot Friedman
Was really
this
good.
season was amazing.
The dude loves race car driving. Like, Ross, I'm convinced that he's only still playing in the NHL to fund his race car driving career post hockey.
And he's got a ton of Corvettes, I think, too, right?
Big time car guy. Yeah.
Big time car guy. Nice. Overall, a great weekend. Is that fair to say?
Ross, I'll go even better. Like, this is better than I could have even, like, hot take imagined. Like, 6-2 and 5-0 with Forsberg back-to-back games and getting the shutout. Claude Giroux, an absolute stud. Brady Tkachuk had a great game last night. Like, to make Leafs fans and Habs fans sad and mad, not only on the same weekend, but back-to-back nights.
And with an opportunity for more.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're not done.
Ferg mentioning make sure golf clap guy downs a couple 25 milligram gummies like he did at that game. A little squinty. Nothing wrong on a Friday night in the heart of enemy territory.
Hey, the lights are bright in Toronto. He's just squinting because of that.
Hippopotamus. Did I hit that one right?
Put it up on the screen here. Let's see it. Hippopotamus. Is that a Flight of the Conchords reference? I hope so. That's I'll extra bonus points for that.
That's awesome. I would love to have Kyle Turris on the show.
Hippopotamus. My lyrics are bottomless.
Okay, we're in the rapping portion of the podcast. I would love to have those guys on. as well. Does Golf Clap Guy have an agent? Not yet, Paul, but maybe soon. Let's get some Go Sens goes in the chat. The vibes are elite.
Woo!
The game was awesome. A 5-0 win. Nicholas asked it. Let's finish off just getting absolutely in one. Is Claude Giroux a Hall of Famer? Once he wins a cup in his hometown, he is.
That cements it for sure. I think you can make the argument.
No, not yet. No Olympics either. Like that's usually like a lot
that is tough.
Era.
But he got snubbed. No Olympics in the last 8 years. Like that's a prime time for Claude Giroux to be there.
Yeah, interesting. Was he on that World Cup team? He must have been on that World Cup team.
I don't remember.
And I know he's won the World Championships before because he went the same year that Crosby went.
Yep.
Oh, he's won a bunch. QMJHL title, World Cup, World Juniors, World Championships.
Yeah, I think that's pretty solid.
I think he needs either a cup or he needs like 200 or 300 more points.
He'll play at the next Olympics. How about that?
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'm down. But yeah, he was on that World Cup team, 2016.
Nice.
Yeah. Very good. But yeah, I like the question. No wine tonight. Matt's asking, why no wine? My whole schedule is so messed up. Doesn't matter. Nobody cares about my work schedule, but
Ross is a beast. I will confer. Hardest working guy in the game.
I'm on the waters tonight, and I had freshie and no free ads and a what's it called, like a kale smoothie tonight. Weird. I gotta look good. We got a big day coming up. I gotta make sure that I'm not getting sick. We got a big couple weeks coming up. We're less than 3 weeks away from the Glebe Central Pub and Chris Neal's jersey.
Woo!
Rafters.
Love it. I can't wait to see all the Neal jerseys showing up for that one, Ross. The 25s in the stands are going to be awesome.
I know.
Flesherton native, that's in my neck of the woods, Ross. I'm there skiing a lot of the time. I love Flesherton.
You should get like a canister of dirt and put it, you know how they have like that flame in front of the Sens arena? Like we'll pretend it's like the eternal flame. And you can dirt.
I'll get them some Flesherton dirt.
We'll make content about it. Would anyone not want to watch that? I mean, come on. Oh, man. Anyone going, and we see some people in the chat saying they're going to the Chris Neal jersey retirement game. Stay tuned. Tickets are coming for the live show and for the shuttle to and from. It's going to be, we just want to get numbers, everything else, figuring it out. It's going to be, Matt19's asking. We are getting it. We talked on Friday and we left it that we touch base early next week to finalize. So I'm off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Believe it or not, 3 days off in a row from other job. Unreal.
Huge.
Big time. I'm going to make sure that that's on my to-do list. We'll figure that out.
And people often ask, like, what's the best way to support you guys? What's the best way we can help you guys out? Showing up to events like this is a great way to do that because that gives us a kind of idea, okay, how many people are serious about this. And I mean, it's just a good time. Like all the meetups we've done have been an absolute blast. No one's a stranger. Everyone's friends. All different sorts of Sens fans are getting together and we're just having a good time. So if you want to support the show and be a part of this community, there's no better way.
Sens Burner, you are an absolute beauty. We appreciate you, brother. And also, I want to end off by mentioning that people should head over to Twitter at Sens Central, where you'll find a giveaway from our friends at Shawarma Palace. You know how I act when Shawarma Palace comes up. I'm not going to go into my diatribe, but go get them. No better way to celebrate a great weekend. Rivalry wins than at Shawarma Palace.
Ross, dare I say, Sens game days taste better with Shawarma Palace.
Yummy. So with that, the Shawarma Palace, they want more followers on Twitter, and so far they're up 200 off of this. So we love it. We want to keep
also help out Glebe Central Pub. They recently started a Twitter account. They've realized that that's where we're kind of mainly focused. So they're getting that going. So go follow our friends over at the Glebe Central Pub on Twitter.
100%. Make sure you're following all of our great sponsors. Farm to Fork Delivery as well. All of our great sponsors. The FanDuel Sportsbook, Built Bars as well.
Athletic Greens.
He loves his Athletic Greens. So make sure you're supporting our sponsors. Visit the Glebe Central Pub, and we will see you in less than 3 weeks at the Glebe Central Pub. Oh, I should say, the tickets we're giving away. Section 108, Row G, great seats for Calgary Ottawa, all Canadian matchup. It's going to be amazing to see. And it's actually in the corner near the Sens bench, I think. So if that all works out,
Nice.
kind of cool area to be watching the game. Hillsy, any final thoughts? I mean, the Sens just won on aggregate against their two biggest rivals by a score of, math guy, 11-2. Not bad.
You got it. I mean, final thoughts for me is, guys, every once in a while we get a little bit of shimmer of hope. We get to hold on to some nice things for Sens fans. So who cares what the standings are? Just take pride in knowing that this Sens team absolutely whooped the Leafs and then followed that up with a beatdown of the Montreal Canadiens at home in a sellout crowd. Like, that's what you want to see. That's what we're hanging around for. And it's this weekend is a great time to be an Ottawa Senators fan. So here's to you guys.
It certainly is. Go Sens, go. Let's get some Go Sens, go in the chats. We appreciate everyone for joining us after each and every Ottawa Senators game. If you miss any of the Postcast live, you can always catch it on replay. I see some people just coming in right now. Well, you can get the entirety of the Postcast available on YouTube, and I will be posting on audio platforms in the next half hour as well. But for tonight, we say goodbye. The Senators are 5-0 shutout winners over just an awful hockey team. The Montreal Canadiens, there wasn't even any animosity in this game. It just kind of felt like one team was better, and that team won the game. For tonight, we say goodbye. Next time you hear from us will be Monday in the Locked On Senators podcast, where we'll get the lowdown behind the wave as well. As we wave you a great rest of your weekend, make sure you're following the show at Sen Central on Twitter, lockedon.senators on Instagram. I think we're on TikTok too, but I'm never going to figure out that app. So goodbye for now. For Brandon Piller, I'm Ross Levitan. Go Sens, go. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.